Welcome to my beginner's guide to FragPunk. Whether you're just starting out or looking to improve your skills, this video will cover everything you need to know to dominate in this fast-paced 5v5 shooter. Let's jump right in. So, what is FragPunk? FragPunk is a unique hero-based first-person shooter that blends tactical gunplay with deck-building mechanics. You'll control genetically enhanced heroes called Lancers, and each Lancer has their own special abilities. In FragPunk, each round is filled with high energy action as you control one of 10, 11, 12, and even more Lancers in a competitive 5v5 match. But the real twist comes from shard cards. It's the special modifiers that add unpredictability to every round, which can change the rules of combat on the fly. Unlike other shooters where only your hero or weapon choice matters, these cards allow you to change the game rules, adding depth to the strategy. For example, one card makes bullets explode on impact, while another could eliminate doors from the map completely, altering how players move and fight. So imagine you're on defense and you're behind in the match. You can use a card like Frozen Wasteland to create slippery forests, making it harder for the attacking enemy to navigate and capture objectives. Or you want to get a lot of really nifty headshots. Activate Big Head, and now the enemy has a big head. Much easier to get a headshot. But before we continue with the video, first we need to talk about the Lancers. These genetically enhanced warriors are the key to success in every match. Whether you prefer a more offensive, defensive, or support playstyle, there is a Lancer for you, and each one brings a vast array of abilities and style. Let's break down as many as possible so you can figure out which one fits your playstyle best. For example, Broker. He is the aggressor, a very aggressive Lancer who thrives in chaotic, fast-paced combat, and if you like rushing into action, this is your go-to to use. He has high damage rocket launcher and trip mines that you can set up as well. There's also Pathogen, who is a support class, so if you want to be a more supportive player, this is a good choice for you. She can drop a healing fungus cloud, or put up walls to make sure that you can block passages, and you can also put down poison that poisons the enemy team, which, by the way, you are immune to. Other characters include Hollow Point, has a lot of skill damage, trap emplacement, and vision control. Her sniper is really strong, by the way. It's a single shot railgun with variable optics, and you detect enemies in the field of view. You can also shoot a wall that moves forward and reveals enemies that it touches, so it's great for pushing and or revealing people behind cover. And then they also added a few new characters, for example Spider, who sets up teleportation between 2 points, or you can also bring enemies to you, or set up a trap that disorients as well, which is crazy. And then another character that they recently added to this beta, and for the full launch, is Sonar, which has an area delay detection and is all about scanning the enemy while making sure that you don't get scanned as well. So you have echolocation, if you can scan enemies that are on the move, or your T ability makes it so that you and your teammates' footsteps are very quiet. Some of these Lancers are locked, yeah? So what you can do to unlock them is you can use unlock Lancer tokens, which you get from daily logins, from quests and challenges and battle passes, I believe. Or you can also use gold, which might change to premium currency as well in the full launch, but we don't know quite yet. But at the moment it is 5,000 gold to unlock, or a Lancer unlock token. The next point I would like to talk about are the guns in the game. So in this game, they have a wide range from shotguns to submachine guns to assault rifles to light machine guns, marksman rifles and sniper rifles, to pistols, to utility guns, and of course melee weapons. So for the shotguns, there are two styles, one being the meat maker, which is a pump action, and another being an automatic shotgun. Shotguns of course, really fun to use. Close quarters, they destroy. Long range, they're not as good. Some machine guns are like your close to medium range, and they actually, have a really high fire rate, and they're really good for close to medium range encounters. And then you have the assault rifles. Fun fact, something that I don't think a lot of people know is while you're holding right click, you can press shift to aim in so that you get a little further zoom. And so this is with the marksman weapons as well as the assault rifles and the light machine guns. And so please utilize that to your advantage, okay? So the assault rifles are good for close, medium, and sometimes long range engagements. So that's really useful. Light machine guns, of course, you have 1,000 bullets. It's your medium range powerhouse just to push in and overwhelm people with your extreme firepower. Marksman rifles, it's just, you know, the long range, medium range engagement weapon. One of them is a one-shot headshot. The other one is not quite as, but the one thing that makes it different is it's silenced. So it's a silenced marksman rifle, so use that to your advantage as well. The next weapons are the sniper rifle, which currently in the beta, there's one. On full launch, there could be another one, who knows. But if this is a bolt action sniper rifle, one shot to the body, one shot to the head, 300 damage. It is crazy. And then you also have a default pistol. A lot of people don't know about this, but if you hip fire with the pistol, you shoot 3 bullets at once. So you deal triple damage. I say triple damage, but it's not really triple damage, but you know, just use that to your advantage. So instead of, you know, the headshot taking so long with ADSing, if you hip fire, it is much quicker to get a kill. So please use your hip fire more often. Of course, it burns through ammo much quicker, but you know, it's something that not a lot of people know about. The next pistol is the Deagle, which is a one-shot headshot close range, so it's really powerful. So there's also the Cold Shoulder, aka the Raffica. It's a compact but powerful and a deadly surprise in close quarters. And just leave this little guy alone, okay? It deals pretty good damage, 0 to 20 meters, it does 40 damage to the head, and if you see the fire rate, you can pretty much melt people. It's 600 rounds a minute, so it's really good. And then of course you have the utility guns, so instead of actually having consumable grenades and frag grenades, in this game you have guns that do the exact same thing. So you have your grenades, your flashbangs, your smokes, and you have 2 options to use them. You have a shooting mode where you just shoot it off in the distance, or you have a lob mode with right click where it's much closer to you. A lot of people, they don't use these often, but they are very useful, so please make sure that you start utilizing them as well. And of course you have the dagger, which has a lunge. If you hold the right click and you do a lunge attack, it travels relatively far, so please use that to your advantage. And also your left click attacks do backstab damage as well. In the front it's 50, but in the back it's 100, so it's double damage. One thing I would like to point out is there are different damage variables. So if you shoot in the body, you deal 100% of your damage. If you shoot the head, of course you deal headshot damage. But if you shoot the arms or the legs, they're considered limb damage, so make sure that you understand that those points on the body, they take a little bit less damage. Make sure you understand, if you die with any of these guns, unless it's the pistol you have unlimited of, you will lose them and you will have to request them from your teammates or pick them up off the battlefield to get a replacement. So if you look on each gun, you see the ×1 or ×2, that's how many times you can bring it in. And if you die, you lose it, so make sure that you keep that in mind, okay? And exclusively in Team Deathmatch, there are 2 weapons. One is being the grenade launcher. It's a grenade launcher. Wow, cool. And then the 2 being this hammer, which is really, really cool. It does AoE splash damage, and if you do a right click, you do like Thor's thunder slap. It's really cool. Why is this only in Team Deathmatch? I want to use this as like a shard cards. It's really cool. So the next point I really need to talk about are the shard cards themselves. So there are currently 4 modes in the beta. There's Shard Clash, Ranked Shard Clash, Team Deathmatch, and Capture the Core. And so in each one, there are some shard cards that are enabled and some shard cards that are disabled. As an example, in Shard Clash, each round you will be dealt 3 shard cards that you can activate with shard points. And you get shard points by dealing damage, doing the objective, getting kills, and winning. With each shard card at the top, you see those diamond ticks. That is the cost of activating the shard card. When you fill it up, you activate the shard card for that round. These shard cards change the rules of the game to insane levels. For example, Big Head, the enemy, they have gigantic heads, much easier headshot potential. There's also cards that make it so that you fly in the sky if you're ADSing, so you are in the sky, which disrupts the enemy because they don't know where to look. Suddenly you're in the sky, you have to shoot them in the sky. Crazy. And there are also so many shard cards that change the rules of the game. And if you don't like the ones that they deal to you, you can also use 1 shard point to re-roll. And also, if you look in the bottom middle, you can also see the enemy's shard cards as well for Shard Clash. There are 2 primary game modes, Shard Clash and Arcade. Shard Clash, which is the standard mode and the ranked mode of the game, so this is the core of the game. typical 5v5 one life game mode, bomb defusal, attack and defense. The bomb is called a converter and the explosion is called a conversion. So that's, you know, the unique twist, right? That's not all. There's also the shard cards that you collect in each round that you activate as well. So there are two teams who use shard cards to make the rules of the battle. The attackers win by successfully planting the converter and protecting it until the conversion is completed. The defenders win by defusing the converter or preventing it from being planted. And either team wins by eliminating the other team as well. The first team to win 4 rounds wins. But if it's 3 wins and it's even at the end of 6 rounds, the game moves into a series of duels between players. This is the 1v1 duel mode, which is really insane and crazy, and it's actually really interesting. So that's why I keep saying you should have really good aim, because it's going to be very necessary for this part. Shard Clash also has a ranked mode with ranked rewards as well. And so these rewards you get from playing ranked. It goes from bronze all the way to Punk Master. Punk Master being the top of the top. And so Shard Clash and ranked Shard Clash, the primary difference is standard mode is a best of 6, but in ranked it's a best of 11. Keep in mind this could change on launch. Each match will need a card captain to make a shard card decision in the rule-making phase, and the card captain of both sides takes turns banning and picking shard cards. The match result will affect the rank points of all involved players. Next are the arcade modes like Team Deathmatch, which it's Team Deathmatch. But if you press P, you can select some cards that you can activate mid-match to help change the rules of the game even further as well. And another mode, Capture the Core, which is one of the more unique modes. It's Capture the Flag, but it's a box. And there are also neutral cores that you can capture alongside the map, and you have to bring them back to your base to score points. You can also defend your core as well, so that to prevent the enemy from capturing your core, and it's just a lot of chaos and a lot of fun. And then the other mode is Scrimmage, which is basically just shooting each other endlessly, mindlessly, which is, you know, good way for warm-up. And then Duel Master, which unfortunately I don't have footage of, is just purely the 1v1 mode. And then there's also training like the shooting range, the tutorial, solo training, and practice against AI. But, you know, that's just training. So if you want training, they have modes for you for that. And also, you can also set up custom games. Why not? This is the daily rewards thing. Alright. Here's another thing. So, giving a burlap bag to the imp can speed up its collection rate. Click to give the imp a burlap bag and upgrade to scavenger map feature. Bam. Hover here to see the effects of the next level. Enjoy the hunt for burlap bags. So, improves the imp's gold collection level. More rewards will be harvested offline. Imp favors these sacks of Blue Knight concentrated environments. So at level 3 I get 200 gold a day. So that's cool. And at level 15, so something that, you know, I didn't put into the guide when I recorded it, because I wasn't level 15 yet, is Relics. So what Relics are, if you go here to the Relic system, at level 15 you unlock a bunch of Relics. At the phase of Make Rules in combat, you can activate a Relic and receive the corresponding buff. So for example, Oasis Guardian, you know, regain HP slowly when your team has played all 3 cards. Scales of Unity, so these 2 you have by default. Extra shard points can be attained, and then we also have things that we can unlock with gold. For example, the Protective Chime. Shard points obtained from round lost death is plus 5.5. Shard points plus 1 on each kill, etc, etc. So this one's locked at account level 20. This one's 500. That looks cool. Risky Ring. When your teammate activated no more than 1 card, your damage is plus 10%. Wow. And then you also have Astral Blessing. If you look on the description side, we also have Gambler's Prism. Draw a higher cost shard card into your hand when redrawing, and then guarantee the shard card of higher rarity when redrawing, but the cost of redrawing increased by 2. So there's a lot of these kind of like, you know, things that like convert the game into unique situations. After covering everything there, what I also want to talk about are some of the skins in the game and the cosmetic options as well. So each character has some unique skins. One of them being in the Battle Pass, which is this Kismet skin here, which is very gorgeous. So, you know, if you play in the closed beta from October 10th to the 21st and you actually finish the Battle Pass, you get to keep that skin permanently for the full launch of the game. If you're watching this after the beta ends, sorry. And then, so one more point as well is, you know, some of the weapon skins are just gorgeous, if you can see. They're really, really nice looking. And you also have stickers that you could do, and also I'm going to put up an image here. Those stickers you can put on the guns to make some unique, original looking skins like this one on screen here. And so with that, we're going to be finishing up by talking about some of the tips and advice. So here are some of the essential tips for beginners. Tip number 1, play the objective. The fastest way to lose a match is to ignore the objective. You can't just rely on your shooting skills. Sometimes capturing or defending an objective is far more important than taking down enemies. Use your shard cards wisely, use your hero abilities wisely, utilize the map to your advantage, and give yourself a strategic edge in completing objectives. Fun fact, if you ping the bomb site, it actually shows you a navigation for the most efficient way to get to the plant site. So use that to your advantage on offense and defense, especially if you don't really know the map layout. You're new, of course you wouldn't know. Tip number 2, coordinate with your team. Lancers are designed to complement each other. For example, Pathogen's healing can keep aggressive Lancers like Broker alive longer in firefights. Or you can use Nitro to set up elevation that you can use to create sightlines that are new. Communicate with your team to make sure you're using your abilities in sync and use the correct Lancers for different engagements. If you're on defense, Nitro or Pathogen might be a really good choice, but if you're on offense, someone like Corona might suit that play much better. Tip number 3 is experiment with the shard cards. Read through them, unlock them, and just go through them. There are a wide variety of cards, and it can be overwhelming at first, but don't shy away from experimenting and reading them and trying them out in your games. You might discover a card combination that suits your combat playstyle perfectly. We never know. Try them out. Just play and try. And that's it. Hopefully, you know, I tried to make this as clear and concise as possible without going super into detail. Because it's a beginner's guide, I didn't want to overwhelm. But if you want me to go like extreme detail, talking about, oh, this weapon does XYZ damage, I could try to do that for you guys as well if you want to. But like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, follow me on Twitch, and check out my merchandise as well. I have a lot of merch. You know, if you buy one t-shirt, you feed me like 3 meals worth of food. So I would very much appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!